Here are the next parts I'm making. The last time I did them, I'd used my prototype vises, which you see modeled here, and I have to use the tailstock to hold those to the rotary. To save the hassle of putting the tailstock on, I'm just going to cut new jaws and use the 8-station vises I have bolted to my rotaries. Luckily, the vices are close enough that I can just reuse my programs, although you'll see it cutting some little more air than normal, and the fixed jaw is a little narrower in this model than in reality. So there's a few discrepancies, but it's close enough that saves reprogramming. Here are my Op1 pockets to hold the extruded round bar. I'm using 2 points on each jaw to contact the parts for the most consistent clamping. Here you can see the parts held for Op2 and why I'm doing them on the rotary. Here you see the pocket in the Op2 jaws that I created by subtracting the part from it. While this isn't exactly what I want, it does give me all the information needed to cut the pocket I do want. I also clearance the inside corners because the sharp edges on the vise or on the parts would interfere with them if I didn't. In the next video, you see me indicating the rotary axis in for Z and Y. This is a program I wrote just to make it fast because that's something I do a lot. I've got programs for both the 2-inch and 3-inch vices. Just saves a lot of time during the course of the year. Going over the basics, so let's put some vices, or put some jaws on the vise. One of the little compromises I made is access to this screw if the vise is bolted onto the fourth. A little tight back here, but not bad. Drive it all the way in, back off a little. Fit the jaw. Second moving jaw. Yeah, I guess I should say it helps a lot if the fixed jaw isn't installed when you're putting this inside moving jaw on. With the fixed jaw in place, there really isn't quite enough access. Put the shims in. Tighten it down. Now it's ready to cut the jaws. Okay, now that the jaws are cut, pull out the shims and make sure the parts work as intended. Of course, I biked my pockets before I opened the vise up. There's op one. So here's what the part one or op one pockets look like in real life. See, I just want to contact the cylinders in 2 points on each jaw. And then of course, since it was originally made for a 1/2 inch narrower fixed jaw, the centers are a little off, but it worked out. That way is the since extruded stock is never round and never the same size between bars or batches, this will compensate for it as long as I've got enough trim. Here's the op 2 vise. Thankfully, I still had a few finished parts from the last time I ran these, so I've got something to test my pockets with. That's always easy, or easier, a little less stressful. There we go. Now our soft jaws are cut to hold the parts I want to make perfectly well. And they're just a little tight, but they'll loosen up in use. Now I'm ready to load the part programs and start making parts. Here's a close-up of the relief for the sharpish corners. Doesn't really show up very well. A lot better in the CAD, but it's minor. Just barely clears the corners and leaves as much contact surface for referencing and clamping.